you name it, whatever it is, we're just here to, yeah, make some really good content for you guys. So we were out last week at ECC. It was a great event. If I saw you there, so good to see you. I hope everyone is doing great. Today, we're going to be talking about something that we've been working on very closely with the Pinata team that we released, which is OpenClaw templates, or basically they're called Pinata agents. And we're going to just show off a little bit about how you can actually spin up an OpenClaw agent super quickly using a template, or you can just create your own. And we're going to walk through like completely how the Pinata templates work. So really excited, and let's just get started and get going. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and let's see, share screen, boom. All right, cool. So anyone who wants to get started with Pinata, if you haven't heard of Pinata, Pinata's been around for a long time. Like these guys are really great. They built some very important tools that allow you to do things like pinning IPFS files. And recently they have dived into the agent space. Obviously AI is very hot right now, and they have built something that I think is just fabulous. And we're gonna walk through it right now. You can get started, create an account, or if you already have an account, you can go ahead and log in. Once you log in, you're going to basically get kind of this screen here, which is kind of like your developer portal. And you can like manage like your pin files, you can manage your API keys, all that good stuff. But if you look right down here on the bottom, here it is, it's agents, and we can click that. That's going to open up a new tab for us here. And let me just make sure that the window that's being shared, yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that it's, yes, last week we had this weird thing with the size of the window. Okay, cool. So what you're going to notice is when you first log in, you have like My Agents, which is your like section where you can keep track of your OpenClaw agents. You do need to subscribe to their service. They have like two plans right now. I think it's like a $20 plan and a $100 plan. The $20 plan, you can have one agent. The $100 plan, you can have up to three. And you basically can spin up these agents and run these. So you can either like create a new agent, or you can see your existing agents. We'll get into these in a second. And then you have like a skills library. So if you want to install like ETH skills, for example, right? You're building AI agents, you can kind of like browse ClawHub, and you can kind of search. Let's try to do it actually. Let's go to eSkills. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, eSkills is not coming up. Maybe it's not deployed to ClawHub, which is definitely possible. You can also just upload a skill as well, like choose a file and add it that way. And then we have this secrets vault. So you can like manage your, things that you want to keep inside the vault that are secret. You want to be able to give your AI agent access to those over time, and you can do that. And then the next section is the templates. So this is the really cool stuff. So this is where you can like kind of take an existing OpenClaw setup, and then you can template it so that every time you don't have to start from scratch and like build this out, right? And so what we do here is we have like two templates that Edge and Node has created. One is ampersand, which is our payment layer protocol for controlling how your agent spends over X402. And so that's what's really powerful if you want to, allow your agent to pay for services online, but don't want them to kind of go wild. It's kind of like, you don't want to give your teenager a credit card kind of thing that's unlimited. And then we have this other one, which is ampersand, but it's also the subgraph MCP. Now, if you're not familiar with the subgraph MCP, it is an MCP server that is built to specifically work with subgraphs, and it knows how to go out. It's built by, it was built by GraphOps, Sahara from GraphOps. Huge shout out, Sahara. This is like a really cool way for you to like, again, find data on the graph network, and yeah, just like get access to that from an agentic perspective, because agents love to talk over MCP. So this solution comes with a subgraph MCP server that you can query, and we'll try to test it out too. And then we have a marketplace. The marketplace is where you can find other templates. You can also like see your templates as well. These will grow. You'll start to see additional templates here as the time goes. So always go here and check and see what's available, because there might be something new and interesting. And then you have like account stuff where you can manage your account, your billing, stuff like that, support, all the good stuff. But if you say create agent, you kind of get this wizard, right? And you can just do a very basic agent, which has like kind of different, there's some like different kind of, examples, and then you can just say custom, name it whatever you want. You can also like do advanced and give it a little icon. But the browse templates is really cool because it's going to let us use one of these existing talents or use your own talent. So if you come over here, you can like paste your own like GitHub repo in here and you can like build from that. So we have two templates that are in GitHub. And if we come back here and say create agent, browse, and then we say my templates, we can see that I have the two templates that I wrote for the graph and for Edge and Node. And here we can say, okay, well, let's spin up this ampersand one, right? So we'll spin that up. It gives you like a nice little README, kind of walks you through how it works. And it gives you like some tags and all that good stuff, versioning, all that good stuff. So, and then you say deploy, that's it. Then it wants to know what the API key is for the AI provider. So you can use Anthropic, OpenAI, OpenRouter. You can use Venice. You just need to configure these. I already have Anthropic set up. You can then add any like additional secrets that you might need to add. Like maybe you want it to have like a private key or something like that. You can add it. You can also configure your messenger, like how do you want to chat with the agent when you're away from your computer. And then you just hit deploy. So this is going to go out and like provision an instance of OpenClaw for you, right? And it's going to run and like build off of the template that you chose. The templates also, like, just if anyone wants to check them out, you can go to github.com/edgeandnode. And then if you come to repositories and you do a search for OpenClaw, you'll see there's two different ones. This is the standard ampersand OpenClaw instance, and then this is the one with the subgraph MCP server. So either one of those will work. Let's go back here and we'll give that just 1 second. Now, you'll need an ampersand account to get started. So we just opened up the public beta for ampersand. So anybody can go to ampersand.ai and can launch the console and can log in. So now if you haven't logged in, it's going to ask you for your email address. You type that in, it's going to like send you a code to your email. You put the code in and it logs you in. We are using Coinbase embedded wallets. So it's going to create a wallet for you that you don't need to like custody, but you can export the private key if you choose. But that wallet is kind of like your human wallet. You can think of it like a human wallet. And then what you do is you can create agents that have access to your human wallet through what are called smart accounts. So smart accounts are programmable wallets that give you a little bit more control, and that's really useful for AI agents. So what we can do is we can create a new smart account, fund that smart account, and then also create a signing key for the agent to use. So he doesn't actually have access to your CDP wallet, he just has access to the signing key. So super cool tech and very, very useful. So now that it's successful, we can say, okay, view agent. And you'll see here that it's deploying still. Might take a second for it to kind of spin up, and we'll come back to that in a second. And then here, if we look, we see we have all of our agents listed here inside of the dashboard, and we can kind of see, how much funding they've spent, stuff like that. We can do things like change it over duration of time. We can spin up a new agent. We can see all of our transactions, which is really cool. Some analytics. So lots of cool stuff that lets you visually see what's going on. Like you can see that I've been slowly spending some money over time. This is like just me testing and stuff. But let's see if it's going yet. Still loading. While it's deploying, we'll also kind of look at what else? The overview. Oh, let's actually create an agent just by scratch here, just to show like some of the options. So it's going to kind of create a name for you. You can just call it whatever you want. And it's going to ask you if you want to configure spending or configure earning. Spending is like it's an agent that spends money over X402. You want to maybe like give it a kind of a balance that it can like manage on a daily basis. So in this case, it's a daily $1, right? And you can also say a monthly spending limit or per transaction limit. So you can kind of customize this. And then for the earnings, you can say like, oh, I automatically want to collect some funds. Like if it gets to $10, go ahead and sweep that to my primary wallet, or you can add a custom wallet as well. So there's a lot of cool logic you can do. We're not going to create an agent here because we're going to use the Pinata template to do it. But yeah, so let's see. Let's refresh real quick. Still deploying. Actually, you know what we can do is we don't need to wait for this one because it will finish, but let's just use the one we already have. We can see here that we have ampersand. We had two. We had this one, which is, oh, this one's actually running because I do want to show the setup. So let's use the one that I just spun up. And what you're going to want to do is just say setup ampersand like this. It's going to give you a URL, basically. You just go to that URL in your browser, and it will create an agent for you. So let's do that. So the CLI is already installed, and it's going to give us the URL here in a second. Okay, so here's the URL. Let's open it up in our browser. And when we do that, it's going to ask us if we want to configure some custom things. So first of all, we want to give it a custom name. So we'll call it the signal. Wait, did I spell that right? The signal-demo. Did I spell? Signal demo. Let's try that. There we go. Do we want to add an additional config? Yes. Do we want to auto top up? Yes. So we check that and hit save. Do we want a daily limit? Yes. Let's do a daily limit of 10 cents. We don't really need much. We just need like a little bit of funds. Monthly limit, we won't worry about that. And then that's it. We just click accept, approve, and create. We could register with the ERC 8004. We could add an allow list. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do here, but we're just gonna fund it right now and test it. So after we click this, it's gonna create the smart account and it's gonna fund it, right? So the way smart accounts work is they're deployed when they're initially funded. So it's gonna automatically fund it using account abstraction. And now we can just say right here, it says setup finish, okay? So say that. So we started, went to the link, finish, now we're done. So now our OpenClaw agent here has a wallet. It's all ready to go. So what we can do is we can test it. We always like to test with this, where's it at right here? This kind of market mood. It's an X-Row2 endpoint that kind of requires a payment. So we'll just say like fetch the mood at this page. So what it's going to do is it's going to run the ampersand fetch, and it's going to pass that URL, and then it's going to use that smart account wallet. It's going to cost 2 cents on base, which you're basically paying for nothing, but there it goes. So we got the market sentiment. Oh, the market sentiment has changed today. It was fear yesterday. Wait a minute. Here's the market mood. Fear. Oh, it's still fear. 41% fear, which sounds about right. BTC dominance is only at 47%. Anyways, interesting metrics, but we're not going to get too much of that. But let's take a look at some of the settings here. We can do things like see how much memory is being used by clicking this little kind of circle, CPU, disk, stuff like that. And then we have these, which let us like hide tool calls, hide image previews, like that's kind of useful and really cool. Like I just hid thinking, so then we don't see the thinking stuff anymore. We can also go full screen, which I really like a lot. This is actually a feature I asked for, and shout out to the Pinata team. They like added this, which is really cool because you want to just be in the mood and just chatting with your agent, right? And then channels is like where you can configure your chat. Files is where you can take snapshots of your instance. Like maybe you get it into a better spot, maybe it's like, oh, well, I want to actually add this and this and this. You can snapshot that into GitHub and have your own kind of template from that. So really cool. Skills, if you're not familiar with skills, they're basically just like markdown files that kind of like tell your OpenClaw agent how to do XYZ, right? So we can say add and then add it from wherever we want. Secrets, we already talked about that, but you can manage the secrets that this specific OpenClaw agent has, the model that it's using for AI LLM inference, The routes, like maybe you want to expose a certain service on a certain port. We can actually add a custom domain here, which is pretty cool, where you can like kind of generate a random domain name and it gives you the link and you just expose a certain port. We have a cron job that can run. We have the console where we can like, see what's going on here and maybe like mess with the server a little bit from the command line. We have logs, all the log files. So if you're trying to troubleshoot something, very cool. And then the last one is like danger zone, which is like statistics, and then restarting the gateway, which is not really danger. So you can do that. you actually have to do that often with OpenClaw. But this one, delete agent, that will delete your agent. So use with care. Okay, so that's it. That's a full runtime of ampersand. It works really well inside of this OpenClaw agent. I'm actually going to delete this one because I already have it. All right, we logged that one out. But we have this one here, which is the subgraph one. And what's cool about this one is we're actually running the subgraph MCP server locally. And why this is valuable is like maybe you want to query data from the graph. Like you want to know like the market sentiment for like what's going on with Uniswap or something like that inside your agent. One of the big differences with this one is we're actually running the MCP locally. So when you first set it up, you have to say like, hey, set up my subgraph MCP, and it will build it. It takes about 15 minutes for it to build it because these machines are a little smaller. Pinata is going to add larger machines hopefully soon, but these ones are running like one CPU, so it does take a little while. But you can also add like the secrets you need. So there's 4 extra secrets you need to make this work. And well, I should say there's 4 more secrets to make 2 different things work. If you just want to get data from the graph, you just need the gateway API key. That's the graph API key that you get from thegraph.com/studio. That will allow your AI agent to just query over MCP to the local subgraph and use that API key to do the lookups. So, you get like 1,000 free queries or no, 100,000 free queries or something like that with the graph. So you can like look up a decent amount of stuff on the graph network. Then the other stuff is like, maybe you want to sell that endpoint, which is really cool. Like you want to sell the data from the graph. You can put a price on it. You can then have a pay to address. And how this works is we're sitting a little like lightweight X402 proxy that sits in front. Now, if you're not familiar with X402, it's this payment protocol that we're using to pay for stuff. And so essentially you have this pay to address that says, hey, if you want to query the subgraph MCP server, sure, no problem, but you need to pay 1 penny. I think it says 1 penny. And we also run the facilitator stuff too. So there's a CDP app ID and a secret that you need, like the key, API key. So you get those, add them all in, and then you can kind of monetize really the graph's data through your OpenClaw agent, which is really, really cool. So if we just say like, help me test the subgraph MCP locally, and also, can you help me test it? Let's just see if this works over X402. So I haven't used this since yesterday, and it did give me an issue yesterday. I ended up having to like reboot the machine, but let's see if it works. Hopefully it does. We can also see, okay, both services are running. Good news. Let me make this full screen here and see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. So both services are running. Now it's going to try to test the X402 paid flow. So it's going to try to query that proxy and see if, yeah, it can query it using X402. By the way, I've already configured the server with an X402 wallet. So we're like using ampersand to make the payment to the server, but we're also using ampersand in front as a seller agent. So, when we set up ampersand earlier, we kind of had this decision that we might want to like choose what kind of an agent we build, right? Is it a buyer? Is it a seller, right? Like this. And we're doing both. We have 2 different agents, so pretty cool. So this might take a sec. Yeah, we can kind of adjust this. All right, so everything's working perfectly. Now let's make an actual paid call. Okay, so it did check to see the MCP was working. Now it's trying to actually make a payment. It's not giving me the output. I probably should have it like showing me the tool calls. I think in full screen, you can't actually change that. That's a little bug. I need to report that. But if we do it like this, maybe it should show us. There we go. Fingers crossed this works, please. Okay, we'll just let that sit for a second and bake. And yeah, what else can we cover? Oh, I do want to show you the maybe the structure of the template itself. So if you go to the template config or the template like source code, basically it's just this workspace folder which has like all of the standard like OpenClaw markdown files along with like any installed packages, as well as skills and memory, right? So this is a very similar, if you've ever used OpenClaw, you'll have seen this, but what you probably have not seen is this stuff. So just a very, very basic README, just explaining what it is. A get ignore, obviously, for secrets, and then the manifest. The manifest is like just a JSON file that has the name, the description, the vibe that it should have, and the emoji. And then the template is kind of like the name of the template, what category it should be in, what tags, the website for the author and the name, and the place where the icon is, the logo. And then this is what happens when it first gets built and created. So we install the ampersand SDK package. So this could actually be a script. I could just like run some other stuff too. And then this very last one's the cron job. So that's pretty much it. And then now if we come back here, okay, there we go. So the subgraph MCP and X42 tests, local, no payment, able to query it. And then also via ampersand worked perfectly. So yeah, so that worked great. So please, yeah, very excited to hear what you build with these OpenClaw agents. Please check them out. And yeah, we're excited to work with Pinata on this. I think Pinata, again, did a great job on building this stuff. And we're excited to have you try them out. So please go to the Pinata website, spin up your OpenClaw agent, test it with ampersand, and then let me know how things go. Thanks so much for tuning in. So we're going to, again, be doing this every Friday that we are available at the same time. So please make sure you mark this on your calendars. If you're not already, make sure you're following Edge and Node on X. Make sure we stream to X. We also stream to YouTube. Make sure you have notifications enabled. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And if anyone wants to come on and speak, also please shoot us a DM. We would love to chat with you. If you're building anything in X402, in AI, you know, in Ethereum, in blockchain, you know, we are excited to talk to you. So please let us know. And thank you so much.